All right. We welcome you to the D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute. I'm so glad to be coming to you on this Friday evening. It is a wonderful time. It's a wonderful day. And we're so excited about our topic for this evening. Okay, why don't you call some people and share, let them know that we are on, and we're excited about tonight's topic alone, the difference between aloneness and loneliness. Aloneness is a blessing. That's what we're going to talk about on tonight, the difference between aloneness and loneliness. Okay. Hey, y'all. Glad to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. We're glad that you're here with us. Once again, this is not a church platform. It is not a religious platform. It is a personal development, Christ awareness platform. Once again, I am D. Leonard Hughes. I am the coach of the D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute. Okay. We're so excited. Listen, you're in a coaching session. You're in a therapy session. Get your paper, get your pencil, sit down. As I speak to you, go within. Life is based on what the inner work that you do. That's a good note, place to write a note right there. Sister Grace, everybody, be glad to see you. I recognize some people because they're on often. I'm on 5 platforms, so I cannot see everybody. So if I don't mention you, do not feel that I am not recognizing you because I cannot see. I only have 2 eyes, and I can't 2 eyes and about 3 cameras and 4 screens, so I can't go back and forth. You'll try to figure out what's wrong with my neck. Okay, so we're so glad that you're with us on tonight. This is a coaching event. You said, what are you saying, Dr. Hughes, a coaching event? Well, in life, you need coaching, you need mentoring, you need therapy, not just in a religious setting, but across the board. You need coaching about you. Can I say it again? You need coaching about you, how to develop you, the you that Christ made, the you that Christ is on the inside, in your own expression, in your own way. Everybody here is different. Everybody on this planet Earth is different. That's why we have to operate in non-conformity, not conforming to what the masses are doing, what the crowd's doing. If you're going the way of the crowd, you're going the wrong way. If you're going the way of the masses, you are going the wrong way. Because success, you go your own route, you walk your own path. And that's something, this is where I have, in my journey, at this period of my wonderful life, is that I realized that we're on a path. I want you to get this tonight. Every individual on planet Earth, you have your own path. What happens, people don't take their path. They look at other folks' path. They compare their path with somebody else's path. They get jealousy of somebody else's path. That's not how we operate. You just be you, develop a better you that God within you have made. He made everybody different. The same way he gave us different fingerprints. He gave us different DNA. I don't care what happens out of the 8 billion people on the earth. No one have your own identity or your own DNA, saying that there's something within you that's different from anybody else. Dare to be different. I'm going to have to do a wake up on that. I like that. Dare to be different. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me write that down. Dare to be different. Because that's important. Give me 1 second. Dare to be different. Want to be different than anybody else. You want to be you. When God made you, he made you. He didn't make you to be like anyone else, or he did not make you to walk anyone else's path. Okay? Know that alone on the spiritual path is a blessing. I did a event a couple of months ago. I talked about the lone wolf. So now I'm talking about being alone. Know that alone or aloneness on the spiritual path is a blessing. I've been on a journey. The more I learn about me, the more I learn about God, because God is in me, as me, through me. Okay, I am a representative. You are a representative of the Christ on the planet Earth. You have to believe. You have to become aware of who you are. Thank you. That's my mother, Lois McRae. Glad you're there, Mama. You have to know who you are. The problem why we live such a defeated lives, our everyday life, because number one, we don't take control of our mind. How much control of your mind have you had today? How much control of your emotions you had today? And I can just about guarantee you 75% of the things you thought or felt were not correct. It was on your own perception. You have to be able to filter what your mind is thinking and what you are thinking, because you're not your mind. When I say you, I'm talking about that core you on the inside. That's you that's deep down in the inside, that many people do a lot of things. When I was an addict, I was trying to cover it up or fulfill it with my addiction. Okay. Many people are bound by drugs and alcohol and opiate and so many different things. And my heart goes out and concerned for people that's addicted and that's dealing with mental health challenges. Okay. If you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, that's insanity. Okay. That's mental health insanity, because you can't do this. It's impossible for you to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. You're not going to get different results. Okay. So I was mentioning, I took my, I'm noticing that I'm attracting a lot of millenniums in this mind hacking teaching. And those that are on, welcome to the world of mind hacking. Welcome to the world of mind hacking. Your brain only weighs about 3 pounds, but your brain houses your mind. And in that mind is a Christ mind, or the superconscious, which is a Christ mind. And our ultimate goal is to live in that rim of the Christ mind. That's where the joy, the peace, the love, that's where it is. That's a high vibration. People say, "What how you vibing? You vibe." Well, we begin to understand that better now than we did years ago, because a lot of us did not know a lot of these principles. People deal with God as if he's another person. He's not another person. He's not like man. He doesn't lie. Everything he said he's going to do, he's going to do it. Even when it comes to his promises, many times we forget his promises, but his promises are still sure. Amen. And that's the confidence. That's the belief is thinking a thought over and over until it becomes a belief system. Faith is what's your substance of things. What faith is what's the base that let me say this, what's the base that you're putting that belief system in? Okay, without faith, it's impossible All things are possible to them that believe. All things are possible to them that believe, meaning your belief system brings about your possibilities. Let me say it again. Man, I got to do some. I hear some morning wake ups, y'all. Your belief system, your belief system, everything in your life is based on your belief system. Let's give you an example. EIGI. EI period I period. Let's do an example. Okay. Let's say in order you believe when you sat on that couch, you believe that that couch would hold you. That's a part of your belief system. Okay. You get up, you go to the kitchen, you go to the living room, you believe that you can do it. Okay. Now, if you didn't believe and you didn't act on what you believe, you would just sit there and say, I want to go to the refrigerator. I believe I can go to the refrigerator. I believe I can go to the refrigerator. I believe I can get some water. I believe I can go in the kitchen. But you're sitting there. It starts with, first of all, getting up and walking. We walk not by sight, but we walk by faith. Faith. We think. Belief is a thought you keep thinking over and over. Okay, whether it be positive or negative. So your belief has to be in the faith of the principles of the universe, the principles of God, the laws of nature. That's where the faith is in, and the faith is in what the word of God says. It's not a religious platform, but with Christ's awareness. You got to believe that he said what he said. If all things are working together for the good, you got to say what he said. You're not saying, it's not on my notes, I'm just flowing. You're not saying what he's saying within you because there's another voice, a quiet, still voice on the inside. There's a GPS, but you won't tap into that GPS until you go within yourself and begin to go through yourself and come out of yourself. And you begin to develop a knowing because he wants you to know his voice. He wants you to be aware of that GPS. And then mainly, you got to know that God is in you, as you, through you. Can I say that? God is in you, through you, as you. Christ is in you, which is all the same. You got to put a name to God because in India, there are many gods. But we understand the Christ, which we are. We are the Christ, the Son of the living God. It's not only I that live, but it's the Christ that's living in you, and he's trying to be formed. The more he grows in you and the more he's forming you, and how do you do that? It all comes through personal development. It all comes through personal development. Some of you are so burnt out. You're in these religious places, you just burn out. The same thing over and over, confusion, same thing over and over. Let's move on. Being alone allows you to reclaim your energy. We all give our energy away to others, whether we realize it or not. Being alone allows you to reclaim your energy. We're nothing but energy walking around. Source energy, that's all we are, source energy. We were energy before we came in this body. And we have a body, but we're still energy, and we're still vibrational beings. We're doing that 24/7. Either you're receiving or you're giving out. You're sending or you're receiving. You're sending or you're receiving. What are you receiving today? Okay. And then don't be so locked in on your negative thinking and your negative concepts and your negative belief that when the light comes, why am I growing? Why am I moving in a momentum of success? Simply because I'm working with principles and I'm in a learning mode for the rest of my life. What I knew today may not matter to tomorrow. Okay? Because a lot of information is outdated. So why do people let it go? Why do people hold on to stuff they've said in 20, 30, 40 years, and you try to get them to say something different and they get mad at you because they're so locked in a negative zone? All things are possible, even medically. There's no such thing as that never can be cured. That's a lie. With God, all things. I'm talking about with God's point of view. With God, all things. He said, by his stripes, we're healed. I don't care what medical science say. They may say, well, this is an incurable disease. Well, that's their point of view. Now, if you want to believe that, then that's your reality. But that's not my reality. My reality is that I'm healed. How do you know you're healed? Because he healed me of cancer. I manifested divine healing through the Christ within me of prostate cancer. Are you listening to me? Okay. Being alone is a physical state. What is alone? Alone means I can be around other folks, but I choose not. There's a difference between alone or loneliness. Okay. Sometimes you get it, man. Oh, I'm just so lonely. No, you're not. You may be alone or going through a period of solitude, but you have a choice. You could pick up the phone and probably talk to somebody 3 or 4 hours, but that's not what you want to do because you're on a goal to reach. So alone is I can call, I can go around somebody, I can call them, but that's not my choice. Loneliness means that you've gone into a realm, and anytime you begin to say you're lonely, that means there's other things going on that's causing you to feel lonely. Why are you feeling lonely? Well, I ain't got nobody. You got you. And then one of the main reasons probably why you're feeling lonely, because this is a time of knowing you. This is why people keep going through different relationships, because you don't know what you want. You know what you don't want, okay? But you don't really know what you want. And you have to examine what you want, because what you wanted 7 years ago, you may not want that now. The type of person you want in a relationship 5 years ago, that's probably not what you want now. That's why they moved on. And you look back over your life has gone a direction that you couldn't have gone with them because of the type of mindset that they have. This is good. Thank you, Sister Grace. Okay, because of the type of mindset that people have. You can't change people. You can't change your kids. You can't change your siblings. You can't change people. And some of you on the journey, I got to change that. You stop. Even with your children, listen, precious, until they're ready, you're wasting time. Only thing you do is speak over. One of the favorite scriptures I use in household deliverance is Acts 16:31. Believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, thou shalt be saved, you and your household. You don't pray for loved ones. You speak the word and you stand on the word that you said, that I and my household can be transformed. Okay? But see, I'm getting ahead of myself. So being alone is a physical state where you are physically by yourself. Lonely is an emotional state where you are feeling alone or disconnected from others, even when they're right next to you. If you're in a loneliness state, God bless you, Dr. Sutton. If you're in a loneliness state, okay, people can be all around you and you still tripping. I'm just so lonely. That's an emotional state. But being alone is a choice. He said, I never leave you alone. He didn't say lonely. Y'all can't say, he didn't say I leave you lonely. He said, I never leave you alone. He can't leave you. He's in you. You're him. He's you. And people say these kind of, oh, Lord, don't pass me by. How can he? See, because the concept of God that they've given you is that he's an outside person, he's an outside man, and we hand him, Lord, don't forget about me. Stay with me, Lord. Please don't leave me. That's great. He can't leave you. I and my Father are one. He that are joined to the Lord is one spirit. This is not a religious program. I have to correct this. It's not a church program, but it's a personal development, Christ awareness platform, making you aware of who you are. He's not an outside person. Stop treating, Lord, come on, stop by. We're calling on you. And I used to do the same thing because that was only awareness that I had. And can I tell you something? It didn't make sense. Because he said, I'll never leave you alone. And then I'm saying, well, stop by, send your power. Ain't no power ain't coming. You have the power. Christ, the scripture says that Christ is the power and the wisdom of God. Okay? It's the power and it's the wisdom of God. I've got some, hold on, y'all, 1 second. I'm on a roll, but I've got some people that's trying to come on. I don't know. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hallelujah. I got a group of people that's trying to okay, I think we're good. I gave them instructions. Okay. All right. Let's move on. All right. Okay. So loneliness Loneliness, loneliness is an emotional, it's an emotional state. Okay. Loneliness is an emotional. Aloneness is a choice. Because hear me carefully, very closely, so you don't miss this. Okay. You have to understand until you walk, and some of you probably are there now in a period of solitude. I did a little saying that came from without me, came from within me. I mean, loneliness, solitude helps your attitude. Solitude helps your attitude. It's not until solitude that you really sit down. You really sit down and examine you. Look at you. See areas of development for you. You don't spend time blaming this one and spend time blaming that one. You can't do that. Many of you're at a period, and sometimes you go through a period where you just pull back. Doesn't mean nothing wrong. I've been going through the last 2 weeks. I've been going through getting up, not going to sleep till 5 or 6 in the morning. And first thing, oh, what's wrong? What? And your mind, let me tell you something about your mind. Your mind looks for problems when there aren't any problems. When everything is at peace and everything's quiet, this is why a lot of people have a lot of turmoil in their life. Are you listening to me? Have a lot of turmoil in their life simply because what they're vibrating drama. You find people that always got drama. That's what you're sending out. That's the frequency you're living in. And so that's what you vibrate. The law of attraction is going to keep bringing drama. It ain't the devil. It's you. Ain't no devil. It's you. The only devil is the devil you created. You created something with you in your thoughts that you listen to, that you follow, that you deal with. Okay? Source can never leave you alone. He said, I'll never leave you alone. So during the period of being alone, again, loneliness is an emotional state, but being alone is a choice. Is a choice that you can make. Okay? Oh, I'm so lonely. That's an emotional state. I had to understand the difference between loneliness and being alone. Okay? So it's not until you go through a period, and many times emotionally you can deal with a lot of people, but seem like they're not talking what you're talking. They're not in the area that you want to go. There's no way to experience success without hanging around successful people and people that read. I told somebody today, feed your mind and life will feed you. You're trying to get it together with the tools that won't work. It won't work. You got to work this here. Until you get it together up here, ladies and gentlemen, until you make up your mind what you want. And stop chasing things you don't want and stop chasing people. I said something. If you don't miss my absence, you never enjoyed my presence. Can I say it again? If people don't miss your absence, they enjoyed your presence. Okay? You got to think, it's your environment. Change your environment. Stop hanging with negative people. I'm going to come on in. Stop hanging with religious people. You can't get nowhere with them folks. Because they're limited. Their thoughts are limited. Their religious stuff is limited. Stuff they've been told is limited. So you can't get anywhere like that. Okay? It's a path of loneliness because it's a path that can't be followed. Your path should never be followed. People can walk beside you and then they go their own way. Even as a coach, even as a therapist, I walk with people to a certain point. But then after that point, they've got to launch out into this is you look at me. Life is a do-it-yourself project. Nobody owes you anything. I'm trying to talk to somebody. Stop blaming people, and you've lived a life of being the victim. You talk to folks 2 minutes. Oh, this one did that with him. This did that. My boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-girlfriend. And it's always somebody else. And why? And you keep drawing the same type of people. Why you keep drawing the same folks? The same type of folks. Same man, a different suit. Same woman, a different suit. And that's on you. Because something within you keep drawing them. Something within you haven't completely let go of that old lifestyle. What he brought me out of as an addict, I let stuff go. And when I flipped the switch, then things begin, through me, I begin to manifest the things in life, a house and cars, and, those material things, I understand. But the necessity things of life manifested when I made decisions. It's not until you make a decision to stop, to change, to move, to go for it, to get up, to do something, to stop blaming folks and stop blaming yourself, and you move on and move out. You're supposed to be here. Look in this camera. Look in that phone. Look in that screen. Look in that television. You are supposed to be here, and you're not supposed to be fumbling and rambling through life. There's a GPS on the inside that wants to lead you and wants to direct you, but you got to go within. Religion will cause you to go without, but spirituality calls you to go within because God is within you. He's a God within. It's your path. I want you to say with me, it's my path. Autophobia is the fear of being alone or lonely. Hey, Tasha. Fear of being alone or lonely. Okay. Our ego craves for distraction, entertainment, noise, doing this. It's in the quiet. And some of you hate being quiet. You can't lay in your bed 5 minutes and be quiet. You got to pick up your phone. You got to do this. And if you pick it up to read. Read. Why have my life changed? Because I picked up the right books. What book are you reading? I begin to read about millionaires. I begin to read about personal development. I begin to read about self-care. Your body is all you have. You got to take care of it. I tell folks all the time, how he healed me of cancer. PSA was a 73. No trace now. 0.0. No trace. Are you listening to me? You got to give yourself self-care and love you. And think about you. You're trying to, and it's okay to think about other folks and help other folks, but you got to help yourself first. Because when you're down, nobody's going to help you. Those folks you're running behind, and they're not going to help you. You're trying to live their life for them. Let me say something. You can't live nobody's life for them. They have to walk their own path. You cannot walk your path and their path. You cannot walk your path and their path. You've got to walk your own path and believe in you. You don't have any confidence in you. You don't have any confidence in you. Okay? One of the things you'll discover is that the spiritual path is not for the meek or faint-hearted, is only for the strong. Old saying says, only what? The strong survive. Again, loneliness is an emotional state. Aloneness is a physical state where you are physically by yourself. And you're good. You got to be your own best friend. Can I say it again? This is why you keep going through all these emotional hurts and you're fussing with people on the inside. You're mad with somebody 5 years ago. You're mad with a boyfriend 10 years ago. You're this and that. And you got all of these vibrational emotions and thoughts going on the inside. You got to quiet that. That's where meditation comes in. You got to quiet that. You got to say to yourself, be still, my soul, and know that I am God. Be still. It's in the stillness. It's in that aloneness. A year ago, going on 2 years ago, Father spoke to me. Christ said, I'm pulling you back. I'm separating you. God, I had no idea to what extent. But I understand. You can't begin to hear him until there's other voices and stuff. You got too much chatter going. And I'm not talking about a religious deepness. I'm not talking about that. Every individual has a GPS. I'm talking about GPA college. GPS within them that directs you. I often tell people, Denise, you can get this book you to others at YouTube, Think and Grow Rich. This is the book, number one book that put me on the road to personal development and begin to change my life. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. It's a audio book on YouTube. Okay, read it. All of you read books. You don't read. You're not feeding your mind. You're feeding other people's ideas that's struggling. And you sitting down and listening to people that's not doing anything. You sit down and listen to people that they don't understand how success works. You can't get anywhere if you don't have the right mindset. You got to teach yourself. You got to go on a journey of building yourself. You got to go on a journey of becoming a better you, of understanding you. You don't understand you. You don't even understand you. You don't know who you are. You're wandering, you're running, you're here, you're there, you're here, you're there. You're all over the place. I know, because religion have told you, you got to find it, run after it, chase after it. Look at me, hogwash. You don't chase after God, he's in you. The police chase folks because they don't want to be caught. He's not playing hide and go seek. He's not against you. Life is not working against you. Life is happening for you. Can I say it again? Life is happening for you. There's a God in you as you through you. There's a king. There's a whole kingdom on the inside. Oh, I felt that. There's a kingdom within you. You're kings. You rule. You don't let outside things influence how you believe and how you think. It's your time of solitude. You will realize and discover. In solitude, you discover a lot of things. People, let me say this as a coach to help you. You have to be very careful now. People are not like they used to be. People are not, they have no loyalty, no honor. And I guess it goes back to the scripture in the Christian Bible that in the last days, men would be lovers of themselves. And there's nothing wrong with loving you, but you've got to know also how to love people. It doesn't mean you have to hang. I love everybody. I love people, but I don't hang with everybody because I'm on a road of success, and I don't want I don't want any negativity. Y'all got negative stuff you say, you think about. You got some of you so negative about yourself. I'm talking to you. Look in the camera. I'm trying to help you tonight. Ain't nobody against you. You against you. Ain't nobody talking about you. You talking about you. Nobody like me. Nobody don't even know you. That's okay. People this and people that. I don't understand it because I don't deal with kind of people. I don't on that level. I deal with myself. I deal with my wife, my daughter, my coaching clients, and I got a few other people that I deal with on part of my group that I'm a part of, and my group. You go to Dealing the Hughes Personal Development Institute and join that group also. Okay. If you go willingly, the path becomes easier. You got to be willing to walk this thing. Many of you faint-hearted. You give up too quick because it's not going your way. Let me say this. Don't leave. I got a few more minutes. I got 16 minutes, 17 minutes. Don't leave. Listen. Life doesn't go the way you think. There's no manual in how life is going to go for none of us. The only real time we have is right now. The past is an illusion. You can't go back and get it. It's only up here. Your future is an illusion. You can't go back and get it. It's right here. And everything comes from your now. Whatever happened in the past was a now. Now we're here. Now faith. Okay? Now faith. He's a very present. Here's the key to life. Here's the key to being stress-free. Live in the present. Live in the now. He's a very present. Didn't say future. Didn't say past help. But he's a very present. And when you feel stress and strain and anxiety, it's because you're not in the now. You're not in the present. How do you know? Because I practice it every day. When I find myself out of alignment, I know that I'm not in the present. Because if before you know it, and it's okay to look back, but only look back when you're connecting the dots to where you are now and to go forward. You don't look back in anger, as a victim, as mad at people. I'm going to get somebody, as vengeance. You don't look back, and you can't look in the future. You plan, but you don't know exactly how it's going to go. There's no manual on that. You can't figure it out. Only thing you have, the only reality that we have is NOW. This is the only reality. You can see me. I can see you. I can touch my phone. I can touch the camera. I can touch the screen. That's the now. But I can't go back and touch nothing. What happened yesterday, I can't go back and touch it. I can rethink it. And if you rethink it too long, you're going to relive it. You're just reliving stuff in your head. I said the other week, do you really have a problem? Or you've created problems in your own mind? Because your mind, when there isn't a problem, when every bill is paid and you relax and you got food on your table, your mind goes to work trying to find another problem. It always wants you to worry about something, and you find yourself getting on that worry wagon. And then you start calling people. Then you bring it to your husband, you bring it to your wife, you bring it to this one, bring it, and it's something, and you want them to get on the wagon with you. No, nobody wants to ride the wagon worry, or the worry wagon, the wagon worry. I don't know which way I want to. I say the wagon worry. I'm not getting on your little red wagon worry. I'm not going to the anxiety from 1 to 10. I'm not going there. And you don't go there, and you don't let people take you there. Walk in PEACE. Walk in the peace of God. Walk in peace. How do you walk in peace? Stay away from drama. Mind your own business. That's how you walk in peace. And don't indulge too long in conversation. Many times I'm not on the phone long. I'm on and I'm off. Because you stay too long, there's always something negative to start happening. So I'm on and off. I love people. But I have to protect my eye gate and my ear gate. You have to protect your ear gate and your eye gate. Protect what's going in you. Protect. Okay? Go for, okay. Read, listen to lectures, audios, do whatever inner work you've got it to do. The key is in the inner work, not the outward work, but work in. If you find yourself scheduled and isolated in life, make the best of it and realize it is a blessing in disguise. Solitude, aloneness is a blessing. Aloneness is a physical state. Loneliness is an emotional state. He said, I'll never leave you alone. He's present. He's with you. He's in you. Okay? Sometimes it's necessary to be alone and stay away from people and activities such as having fun and friends, etc., until you connect to the inner part of yourself, which is where the truth of being really is. You've got to connect. Just about finished. You've got to connect to that inner part of you. That's what I'm saying. Many try to avoid the aloneness by using alcohol, drugs excessively, watching a lot of TV, being on Facebook hours and hours every day, going to bars, having meaningless sex with people they don't even like, and so on. People have sex with people just in the name of loneliness, or they don't want to be alone. And every time you have sex, there's a deposit made. Not just a physical deposit, but also energy goes on the inside because we vibrate. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. And before we go, I want to cover some political commentaries too. So stay with me to help you kind of get a better understanding where we are political with all this stuff that's going on. Okay. Let's see this. We are not taught how to express ourselves emotionally. We're not taught how to think creatively. We're not taught how to take good care of our physical health. Why? Through the healing power of the Christ within. I went on the road and was healed of prostate cancer. Went to the doctor 2 weeks ago. I go every 3 or 4 months just to be careful, just to check. Sir, doctor says, sir, 0.0. Don't even worry about it. You're good. You're good. You don't have to keep coming for every 4 months. He said, just come once a year. But come once a year for that. I don't go for nothing else, really. I just want, it's self-care. It's self-care. I've come a long ways. I look back all the things where he brought me from, and little places I was, and crack communities and areas. He's merciful, y'all. He brought you through that. A little something you're going through now. If you give up, you won't make it. Can't give up, baby. You got to keep on going. You got to put your grind in. You got to make it do what it do. You got to pull yourself together. You got to keep quick. Stop making the same old messed up mistakes over and over. You keep doing the same thing over and over with the same type of people over and over, and then you get frustrated because you're not getting anywhere. And you go to blaming folks, and then you're the victim because you won't go within. Loneliness is an emotional state. Aloneness, that's where the blessing is. That's where the solitude. And many of you are watching me right now. That's where you are. You think it's long. Oh, I'm so lonely. No, you're going through a period of aloneness or a lone wolf period where it's just you. And you learn in this period of aloneness, you learn who you are. And you also learn who you're not. You learn what you want. And you also learn what you don't want. That's the road to receiving in this life, knowing what you want. You don't even know what you want. You're looking at what other folks got, say, I want that. You're not sure whether you want that or not. You got to sit down and see what you want. Write, journal, write stuff down. Get your tablet, get your journal, your own private journal. When you're going through a period of development, when there's stuff in me that comes up that needs to be developed, I say, okay, that's a development state. Thank you for showing me. I tell myself, I tell the Christ, thank you for showing me. Okay, so I'm working on that. Pick areas of your life. How do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. Pick areas of your life that you know that you need to work on. Not going to be overnight, but practice and practice. You keep going through crazy relationships. I'm talking to somebody because something within you is not healed. Your self-esteem is low. Why are you letting folks mistreat you? Because that's not being a Christian. Letting folks mistreat you, that's not what being a Christian is all about. It's not what it's all about. Okay? Invest in yourself. Heal, let go, and grow. That's what, when it says forgetting those things behind, means letting go. Because you can't, it's not that people misunderstood what that was saying. You can't forget. But you can let go. Look at me. Let it go. Whatever it was, are you willing tonight? I'm trying to coach you. Are you willing tonight? And you know what? I let that go. You can't forget it, but you can say, I let it go. And every time you say, I let it go, it disconnects. I let it go. It disconnects. But there's power in what you feel, and there's power in what you think. You got to feel it and think it. I let it go. I release them. There's people that have hurt you. You better release them. What you mad at them for? They couldn't go with you. Oh, they said they was going to give me some money. They didn't give it. So what? You still stuck on them? You're supposed to be stuck on you. You're supposed to get out there and get it for yourself. I noticed that I'm reaching a lot of millennials. And I'm telling you, get out there, make it do. In 2020, 1.3 or something million millennials became millionaires. You are a millionaire. You just got to do the inner work and read and understand how money works. You don't chase money. You know, people say, I got to get this money, got to chase this money. That's not how wealth comes. Wealth doesn't come by chasing money. Millionaires don't chase money. They chase their brand. And their brand brings money. I often say Elon Musk, Tesla, every millionaire is identified with the brand. All these companies, Bill Gates, Microsoft, on and on. Then they go to other companies. They start with one company. That company don't work. They go to something else. I forgot how many companies Elon Musk had. Many companies. And then he did Tesla. Then he reached out and bought Twitter. That's another stream of income. I was telling a young man the other day, that's how money comes, a stream of income. You got to have a plan. You have a plan. You got to have a stream for money to flow through. A job doesn't do it. You don't get rich by having a job. Nobody gets rich by having a job. You get rich by having multiple streams of income and understanding how money works. And believe that money's your friend. And believe that you deserve to have money. Believe that you were born to be rich. This is how I believe. And nobody can tell me nothing different. And you don't let nobody else tell you nothing different. You know why? Because I'm reading biographies of people that went through worse things than I do. And Elon Musk was an immigrant. But the boy read every book in the encyclopedia. Okay? Donald Trump. Well, anyway, we'll come back to that. His brand was real estate. That's how it works. Okay? And we can go on and on. Rick Ross, it's his brands that made him rich. Is that money that he made in rapping, he took that and created brands. Michael Jordan. Why is he still surviving? Because of his brands. LeBron James, why they're still making money? Because of their brand. Their brand identifies who their wealth. And wealth has to be identified with a brand, a business idea. If you chase money, you never get it. Can't chase money. Can't catch it. It's in my pocket. Tasha Denise, that's my sister, y'all. You can't do no cussing. That's my little play sister. She's a millennium. She tell it like it is. Denise, don't do that. Okay. That's what millenniums do. This is not a church platform, but don't do that, Denise. Okay. All right. But I tell y'all, millennium different. They just say it, and I understand it. Okay, I understand. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. We're going to get it. Don't leave. I want to share some political stuff. I'm just about at the point. We are not taught how to manage our minds. We're not taught how to show love. How to show love and gratitude towards ourselves. Since the beginning, God created us with a void that only He can fill. And that's a good reason. If we were created with a void, we wouldn't sense anything missing. Okay? All right. Now, let's skip over. We know all of the 19 we're shifting to the political part of it and political commentary. All of the 19 defendants, I believe, have turned themselves in. And I know you wonder, what in the world is our country going on? You are exactly right. There is a serious political problem among the right wingers. We put it that way. Now, I'm mentioning this political commentaries very briefly, not Republican-wise, not Democratic-wise, not independent-wise, but kingdom-wise, and for our country and for our Constitution and for the love of our country. I love America. I visited a couple other countries, but I couldn't wait to get back to America. Sometimes I said, I want to move away. I've got a family, so I can't just move away. But I still love our country and the values of what we stood for over the years. We've never seen a spirit that's on the land, or energy of racism, or energy of hatred. Okay. Energy of hatred and different things like that. Are you listening to me? So now, if you're making comments, please hold your comments. If they're not positive, do not make negative comments, please. Okay, it's not that kind of show. All right. Understanding where we are. I see that saying, Tasha, you can't put that comment. They think you saying I'm lying. Okay, so you can't do that. All right. Understanding that we have to understand that politically, we've got to know what we stand for, and you've got to be understanding with your own. Okay, all right. You have to understand where we are. Most people don't want to deal with it. I'm saying the reason I'm talking about this, so when election time comes, you can express how you feel in your vote. Okay. Okay. You have to understand, as long as it's positive, Denise, you can say something positive. Okay. Understanding that you've got to get out and you've got to vote. 2024, you got to go get out there and you got to vote. You don't vote for personality, but you vote for policies. Let me say it again. You don't vote for personality, you vote for policies. There's a lot of things happening, not just in the political world, but in the religious world. And everybody just want to cover up. Don't say nothing. Cover up. Don't say. You know how many hurting people are hurting? Let me say this. If you are a leader, your life's supposed to show that you're a leader. and that you're leading people. And and your life can't be raggedy if you're trying to lead people. I'm going to say it. Your life have to come up. And you have to look for leaders. Okay? Look for leaders that their life is following what they're preaching or what they're teaching or how they're leading. Vote for leaders. Nobody's perfect. We understand that. Nobody's perfect. But vote for leaders that have a real concern about the people. That means politically and religiously. That your leader is concerned about you. Hey, Shireen, all right? It's so much stress and strain with all of the news. You got CNN, you got Fox, you got this, and then was it Wednesday? We had the debate. That was a little different. Trump wasn't there. He felt he didn't have to be there. DeSantis is a funny looking guy. He really is a funny looking guy. He's a guy that I think wants to be a baby Trump. DeSantis, I'm from Florida. To me, he's done a lot of damage in Florida. Florida removing the state attorney. He removed her. He removed her because he felt that she wasn't tough on crime enough, but it wasn't that. His goal is to put right-wing Republicans in all across Florida. He messing with the schools. Now, the school point, there's one point that I want to make when it comes to the school. I don't believe that schools should teach gender. I don't believe that. I believe that's something that a parent should do. Just because school doesn't really prepare you for the real world. It doesn't prepare you for skill. Only thing school does is help you remember stuff. That's all it did. It doesn't teach about life skills. It doesn't teach about how to develop yourself. It doesn't teach you how money works, how to make money. And the only thing it taught us is how to remember stuff. So you've got to go outside of that. And you've got to learn, relearn, and unlearn. One philosophy said the greatest literacy there is learn, unlearn, and relearn. People don't want to relearn. People don't want to unlearn. And people don't want to learn. Okay. So you got to have your own. These are the times that you got to have a sound mind and a strong mind. A sound mind. I'm still talking about being alone. Because it sometimes it's like we are alone in this. We are alone in this world, and we have to be very, very careful of what's going on around in our school. You know what? My daughter, she's in homeschooling, and we enjoy it. She goes out. She takes trips with our other homeschool kids. But we just can't take that chance. We can't take that chance. Am I knocking public schools? No. But I'm just saying you've got to protect your child. You've got to protect your children. If it means homeschooling, you may have to do that. Our plan is to homeschool our daughter, and our goal is for her to graduate at the age of 16. That's what we're working towards. DeSantis. Strange looking guy. Even going after Disney because they were speaking free speech. This is where we are now. You look at the and don't comment unless it's a positive comment, y'all. You look at all of those defendants turning themselves in. One young man, I don't know whether he's been released yet. Can't think of his name. But then it's been said that nobody's going to get their legal fees paid. He's having something for Giuliani on the 7th, dinner, $100,000 dinner. He won't get all that money. It's corruption. Let's be honest. And people say, and it's not, let me tell y'all something. It's not about free speech. Everybody on the news, oh, they're trying to stop him from free speech. It's not about free speech. It's about trying to overturn an election in our country. Now, those of you that's wondering, listen to me very carefully. Al Gore, I think it was maybe 1990 or something like that. He took it to the Supreme Court. Once the Supreme Court ruled that Bush had won, that was it. That was it. I think James Adams years ago, I think somebody years ago did the same thing. There's nothing wrong with questioning the election, but do it legally. And what those guys, what they're going through in Atlanta is because they did not do it legally. It ain't about freedom of speech. You may be the president, but there's a constitution. There's a Supreme Court. There's circuits in each area. And once they had ruled there had not been election fraud, it should have stopped there. Meadows and all of them. It should have, the phone call is what did it. Find me 11,790 votes. Find them, wherever you'll get them from. That's not legal. You can't find votes if the votes wasn't voted. And then the two ladies that were, I saw them, my heart really went out for them. All the cruel things, you know why they were said about them? Because they're African Americans that really don't have anything and they figure nobody cares about them. But thank God there's a God. There's a God. You can't mistreat people. You can't treat people any kind of way because you feel they're nothing or you feel they're less. Be careful how you treat people. When you've done it to the least, he said, you've done it unto me. When you've done it to the least, you've done it unto me. That's what the Christ said. Okay. So it's not so much what I did that the big thing is, who am I? I've got to be, I've got to get a mug shot. I had to get one. I had to be fingerprinted. Well, the federal prison. What's the deal? I had to get one. No better than, this is crazy. They feel because who they are, they're supposed to get special treatment. No, you broke the law against our Constitution. And if it wasn't for Pence, if it wasn't for the governor, it wasn't for the Secretary of State in Georgia, this election would have been overturned. It would have been a coup. But the election was not overturned because this is a country in God we trust. God loves this country. Even though we've gotten away from the principles, but he loves this country. There's still a remnant of people. So he did not allow the country to be overturned of an election. An election could not be overturned because there were some honest people. I looked at the debate stage. I like Pence. I'm not saying I'm not saying whether I'm going to vote for it. That's up to you. But I like his character. I like him because he took a stand for right. And nowadays, people support you in your wrong. And if you're right, you're not popular. But righteousness exalts a nation. But sin is a reproach to any people. Our country is in trouble. There were spirits that would be removed from off the earth. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say what, but I don't believe that God's going to allow it. We got too many people. And as a nation, as a people, we won't go back. We won't go back. Slavery, what the Sanders trying to do in school, y'all fight against it. We're not going back. It's racism covered up. That's all. It's racism polished up. It's racism polished up. Are you listening to me? But 2024, vote. Now, those in Florida, you got to deal with him, I think, until 2027. 2026, DeSantis. You got to deal with DeSantis in 2026, 2027. He didn't do well on the stage, on the debate stage. He didn't do well. His PAC committee. Don't attack Trump. Attack the other guy, I think it's from India. He was good, young. He don't know politics. He may know business, but he don't know politics. Okay. Hey, was it Haley? Nikki and then Haley? She did good too. Christie did real good. He is our former governor here in Jersey. I think he's grown. He's learned a lot. He's the only one. Him and Governor Asa Hutchinson are the only ones that will speak up. What is it? What is it? Our country is in trouble. Someone, okay, I know what it is. It's racism. And Trump feeds into their racism. He feeds into it, and that's why they want him. That's why they're like, well, we won't go back. We want to make it known we're not going back. We're going forward. The first shall be last. African Americans was last. Slavery, and how could the scientists say that slavery didn't teach us nothing? Slavery taught us about how to be a slave. Didn't teach us how to be free. The scientists will never win. The only thing he can win a dog fight. I'm saying the scientist will not win. He might as well go home. He will not win. My platform may not be a big platform and this and that, but that's all right. I'm telling you that's on, and whoever this may fall, the scientist won't win. He doesn't like to be confronted. He doesn't like to be questioned. You have to study people's body language. When he was questioned, he stood a certain way. Now I can talk. Y'all didn't catch that, did you? Before he said anything, he positioned himself. Then he said, well, he always does that. That builds himself up. He don't have that kind of confidence. You have to reach down and build it up. He is not a communicator. He's not a debater. Several people he removed. I think it was 2 prosecutors, Democratic. I'm not speaking Republican or Democratic. I'm speaking about policies in our Constitution. He removed them. Now, the Georgia case, they want to remove. First, they complained that the prosecutors derelict of duty. They're not doing their duties. They're not hard on crime. So now the Georgia folks are trying to go after Fannie Willis because they're saying she ain't hard. She's too hard. She's going after Trump. Come on. But if she was going after somebody else, that's okay. They're crazy. It's a cult. It is a cult. What Trump did was wrong. It's not about freedom of speech. It's about trying to overturn an election. If he felt that the election was stolen, take it to the courts. That's how we have a constitution and we have a Supreme Court, and he did. All of those states, Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan, all of those states. And I forgot his name, Secretary of State. I listened to that call. Listen, y'all listen to stuff. Don't just listen to the news. I listened to the call. They were pushing him and pushing him. And when Trump said, just find me 11,700, now that's illegal, y'all. Nobody can find no votes. And they said the girls, I want to pull them up, but I can't pull them up. Somebody give me pull up those 2 names of those girls, election girls in Atlanta. I can't. I got too many screens. I don't want to on 4 screens. Find that for me. Okay. Those precious African-American women. Giuliani, whatever his name, he tried to speak against them. Trump, I think several times, 12, 13 times out of it, he spoke against them. It's a mess. But I'm sharing it with you all because election time, you got to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. We got to get involved. Church folks don't want to get involved. It's not a church platform. A lot of religious people don't want to get involved. If you don't get involved, you can't make a difference. You don't stand up, you can't make a difference. You have to be careful how you treat people. When you go after people, people go after you. When you go after people, when Trump said, come after me, I'm going after you. Y'all better take that man serious. You're going to bomb threat at the courthouse. The person that did the bomb threat, they were so stupid. Yesterday, they didn't even realize that he wasn't at the courthouse. He was at Fulton County Jail. That's how they got these folks. And the stuff that people say. The lady that sent the threatening to the judge in January 6th case in D.C. You can't get away with stuff like that. They got technology. They're going to trace the call. They're going to go back and find out you called. Let the legal system do its job. If Trump is innocent, He'll be judged by a jury of his peers on all the cases. Cheesebro, what's his name? Cheesebro, he said, I want my case to go right away. I don't want to wait. Now, that could be another tactic to see what the government has. And then the rest of the attorneys for the other 18, they know how to set their case up. Because, don't be excited because he's going first. There could be a strategy. You have to sit back. These folks, you have to realize these folks have strategy, deceitful strategy. Let's say this. They have a deceitfulness in their strategy. Their strategy is very deceitful. Very deceitful. And let's be honest. They're upset about who hands they've fallen into. I'll put it like that. The community of hands in Atlanta that they've fallen into, that's what they're upset about. That's why they want to move it. They move it to the federal court. Then you get a more diverse of jurors in rural areas, not in Atlanta or in Fulton County. That's what that's all about. That's all about. Meadows knew what he did. Let me tell you something. So if President Trump told Meadows to go and shoot somebody, and he went and shot somebody, then he could say, well, I was operating as a government official. Or let's say Trump told Meadows to shoot 12 people, and he shot them. Then it gets to an indictment, and he said, well, Trump told me to shoot those 12 people, so I shot them. Will he get away with it? No. So what was done on that phone call, and the pushing and the traveling, and the other, the light guy, I don't know whether he's out or not, he couldn't even get bond. I guess he thought they were going to bond him out. He didn't get bond. You don't go into nothing if you're going to go into something, you got to have money to get out. That's why I always say about drug dealers. They go to jail and can't get out, but they're selling all these drugs, but they can't get out of jail, when they can't get a lawyer. All right, y'all. I just wanted to talk about some things. I wanted to talk about some things. So much going on in the political arena. And I want you to be aware of what's going on. You better let me tell y'all, stay below the radar. That's the best way to be. Stay quiet, stay out the way, and stay away from the crowd. Become a part. Look at Roland Martin has a good show. There's very few people. He has a good show that keeps you up on political stuff. I can't think of the other guy I watch for political stuff. He often talk about police brutality and all of that. Even what happened in Memphis, that early part of the year, Tyree Nichols, it doesn't stop because that's what's vibrating on the earth. All of that stuff is vibrating. It's dancing on the earth and people dancing with all of that stuff. And that's why we got all of this negative stuff that's going on around us. Okay. It's been wonderful. Now, you can do this. Anything you want me to cover in personal development, inbox me. I won't give your name, but I will address those areas of personal development that you need help in, and it's not going to happen until you get developed. Okay, let me say this before I go. You look at people that falls or do something crazy, and you say, how can they get to that place in life and mess up like that? Undeveloped. This is why you're going through an alone state, a solitude state. You're not lonely. Loneliness is an emotional state. You're going through aloneness. And during this period, this is in aloneness, this is the period that you learn who you are and learn who you're not. Learn who you are and learn who you're not. Let me tell y'all something. Stop running around looking for folks on Facebook to prophesy to you. I don't knock that, but you're better than that. Get to the point you got to hear for yourself. You got to understand your life for yourself. You got to walk your own path. And some people, and I'm saying that because people run from one religious place to the next religious place, trying to, I need direction. Your direction, your GPS system is within you. Go within. You run behind these folks, and their lives are just as raggedy as a mango seed. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. I don't go the way of the masses. I definitely go the way of the religious masses. I don't fool with that. I don't fool with that. I go out, I minister. That's a part of who I am. That's one of the extensions of who I am, and I do that. But I don't get all caught up in it. I've done that, been there. I don't get into the organizational stuff and all that. It's crazy. It really is. You say, well, I don't agree with you. That's fine. It's my program. You don't have to watch if you don't watch. But I'm going to express how I feel. Again, I don't go with the masses. I'm on to something. I'm on my own path that's working, that's bringing wealth, it's bringing success. And that's what I'm on. Okay? It's been wonderful. If any of you want to donate or contribute to Delaney Hughes Personal Development Institute, you can. We're on a mission to a community of mind hacking. That's the community we're building. And I'm sure tonight your mind was hacked. That you feel better, think better. You can't do better till you think better, until you feel better about life and also about Veronica. Hey, glad to have you. Carolyn, everybody, I'm glad to have you on. I just want to do some political commentaries to help you understand again, where we are and what's happening politically. I don't know. Come 2024, 2024 is going to be a lot of action, a lot of political action that will be taking place. So let's be mindful and get out. Between now and voting, get out and vote. Change some things. Well, my vote don't count. It still makes a difference. Your person may not win, but at least you're making a difference, because we got to do something about our country. Many are saying that Biden is too old. I'm not going to express my opinion about that. But one thing I like, and I'm not saying this Republican or Democratic, because I'm neither one. I'm more of an independent or more of a kingdom. I'll start my own kingdom party. But I don't know. That is a concern. Let's be real. Not knocking him, but let's be real. Okay, let's be real. I don't know. I think there should be a term limit for presidents. Maybe it should be 80 or 75. I mean, that's my opinion. But you look at Biden. He's doing to me, from the outside, he's doing a pretty good job with all of the forces that he have. I like, because through all of this political uproar, he doesn't say anything publicly, which is wise. Now, Fani Willis' crew did put a gag order on Trump, which is very smart. Federal government did not, DOJ did not do that because it would have been, he's trying to silence, the DOJ is trying to silence Donald Trump. But Fani Willis came and she did it. And what she did, if you look at the order for bail, what do you want to call conditions of bail, is standard. It's standard. They didn't give him nothing different. They gave him, anybody that's let out on bond is a standard bail procedure that they gave him. That's anybody go. You're going to get that. You can't do this. You can't do that. So why should he be different? Then he was upset because he had to get a mug shot, 20 minutes. Well, that's people, from my understanding, that's one of the worst jails in the country. Has been investigated by the DOJ. He was in and out in 20 minutes. You can complain about it. Of course, they wanted him out, because as long as he's there, it's a hot spot. Wherever the president is, or former president, it becomes a hot spot. And all eyes are there, and you can get bad people, you can get murderers, you can get whatever. So they got him in, and they got him out. And did y'all see that mugshot? Y'all see that mugshot? He's making money off that mugshot. He's a money man. He's innocent until what? Proven guilty. So we got to keep that in mind too. But we got to keep in mind, he got to get treated like everybody else. And his whole tactic has been delay, 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 delay. Something, let me say this. God loves this country. He really does. And I don't believe he's going to let certain things go down. We've come too far, even as a people. It's racism just polished up. That's all it is. It's polished up in a different way. Everything they're doing with the mapping of the districts, that's nothing but to do away with Democratic candidates. So they have no choice but not to vote because they're not voting. And so even what he did with State Attorney Worrell, he removed her, but then he turned around and put another African-American person. Otherwise, he's saying, I'm going to still do what I want to do, but I'm going to give you another black face. Come on, y'all. Let's wake up. I can't think of the guy's name. Removed her and then put another black face there. It's serious. Because she wasn't doing her job. Well, maybe she should have investigated him. Ron DeSantis, she should have investigated him. Maybe understand that I'm doing my job now. Yeah, I'm doing my job now because I'm investigating you and your boys. Come on, somebody. I like Christie. You know, I like a man that stands up, even when they were booing him. Boo! Kept talking. He looked right at him and said, y'all can boo me if you want. Otherwise, he's saying, I'm going to tell you the truth. I said, I like a man that will stand and tell the truth. We don't know who that. Well, let's be honest. At this point, the Republican candidate will be Donald Trump. There's nobody, unless something really drastically happens. What, he's 40, 50 points up, 40 some points up, I think it was. DeSantis dropped 11 points. Even after he rebooted his campaign, he still dropped. He's a sad governor. Sad. Then he went after Disney. How you got to Disney? People love Disney. Everybody, their mama, grandmama, the future, past, been to Disney. We just left Disney. Leave Disney alone. Yeah. Then they taking the passes. That's how we got in. One of the workers gave us a pass. Me, my wife, and my daughter. That's how we got in. You don't take the folks' pass. That's DeSantis. Nothing surprises me about it. The mayor of Miami. I guess he didn't get in in time. He didn't get enough. He didn't get enough people. 41 some thousand plus the money. He didn't get a pack to back him financially. I can't think of his name, but he's a mayor in Miami. He went through it. So many people running. Just like the Georgia case. They'll start dropping out. People flip. I think when she did the teachers years ago, it was 30-something. And when she was sued, there was only 12 or 13 that actually went to trial. People flip. When they start talking about time and giving you time, and you think about time and being away from your family in that time, in that cell, you think about time, you start singing America, America, how beautiful it is. They're going to flip. I wouldn't be surprised if they get down to about 6 of just that main crew, Giuliani, Trump, Meadows, Cheesebroil, whatever his name is. It'll narrow down to them. The other, Sandy Powell, and I think from down from them, he'll start flipping. What already flipped, the guy that was an IT person, excuse me, in Mar-a-Lago, he already flipped. See what was happening, Trump PAC committee was paying attorneys. And when you pay for an attorney, you say what that attorney tell you to say because the Trump campaign is paying for it. And that's what the guy was doing. And he knew he was lying. So somebody got to him and he woke up and realized, I ain't going to prison for these guys. And when he got a new attorney, then he flipped and said, hey, I lied. Now, what will happen in the trial, they would say, well, you lied then. How do we know you're lying then? Of course, his defense could be, I was told by the attorney what to say. And once they start flipping, it's like a domino effect. They flip right down. Folks ain't gonna do no time for him. What's the girl? I can't think. Ellis. She's trying to figure out why nobody's paying for my legal defense. He doesn't do that. He threw Michael Cohen under the bus. He doesn't do that. He's a narcissist. He only cares about himself. He don't care about nobody else. And he's probably only doing that dinner for Giuliani in up here in Westminster, $100,000 plate. Even if your wife comes, that's still $100,000. But Giuliani won't get all that money. He probably just get a couple $100,000. They're already raising money off the mugshot. That's nothing to glory in. Talking about it's a badge of honor. He has a dictatorship. If he gets back in, we'll be in real trouble. He studied. His mentor was what's his name? Hitler. Studied all the Hitler stuff. The guy in the Russian pew. Those are his buddies. That's his desire to be a dictator. Remember he said that about the Constitution, redo the Constitution? Can't redo the Constitution. We can amend it, but it still have to say basically sing the same song that the Constitution says. We're in trouble. It's my platform. I talk about whatever I want to talk about. I love you guys on all the platforms, YouTube also, Dylan Hills Personal Development Institute. It's been wonderful. If you want to donate, there's the information down there. You can do that. You can do that. You can donate, and we certainly appreciate it. We're on every Friday, 7:30. I do a daily mental wake up every single day. We're reaching thousands with that every day. Can't say morning because sometimes it don't come in the morning. It comes in whenever I feel it. But we're very appreciative. Okay. Thank y'all so much. And welcome to the world of mind hacking. I am D. Leonard Hughes, President and CEO of the D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute. Thank you for listening. It's been a wonderful experience. Okay. See you next Friday. I'm going to leave the information up below. I tell you what, let me put this up. Anybody that wants to donate to our company, there you are. If you don't get our wake up, let me know and I'll start sending it to you every morning, every day. I'm out there every day. All right? Been a wonderful experience. Dealing with Hughes here. Thank you for listening. Till next time. Peace out.